and the permit has not been issued by the MBA, then the products are not allowed. So the current status as at now, because there's a lot of contract.
Also known as Crismo, is Mr. Crispin Chinda, who's just here to help us highlight a number of things about his intentions to run for the Munali constituency seat in the 2021 elections, as well as the things that he's doing for the community of Munali constituency right here in Lusaka. And I remember we are live on Movie TV, channel 43, on Go TV, channel 96, and on Topstar, channel 458, and you can still interact with us on our Facebook page, which is Revelation TV Zambia. You can drop your comments, as well as you can send your SMSs to 0978 43 74 37, 0978 43 74 37. And I'm your host, Lovely Kayombo. Mr. Chinda, welcome to Revelation TV and welcome to the program.
Thank you, Kayombo. Good evening to the viewers. It's good to be here.
Okay. I think many have heard about Crismo, and I've heard also about Crispin Chinda, and also the things that you are doing in the community. Maybe just briefly, want to know who the viewers are watching right here on Revelation TV.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Kayombo. Basically, I have grown up in the constituency, in the communities of Munali constituency. And obviously I could have invested my businesses elsewhere, but because of the love that I have for my communities, I decided to invest, to put my investment within the constituency where I'm coming from. Mm-hmm. They say there's no place like home, so I decided to be within, within my home, and do everything from there. So I like, or I love to be at home. With the community work that I've been doing, it started as what we call corporate social responsibility. So we've been helping out even before the aspiration of becoming an MP for Munali. We've been helping out in the community. In fact, it was our mothers that appealed to me that look, we have never had a homegrown person going up in the constituency and becoming an MP for this constituency. After looking through the record, I found that indeed, from the time the constituency was created in 1973, there has never been a homegrown person becoming an MP for Munali. Let me also quick to say that from the record, and I'm so proud as the son from Munali constituency that in 1978 we had a former President Lupia Banda, who was an MP for Munali, and again in 1988 the former President Lupia Banda also became an MP for Munali, and he went on to rule this country. So as a son from Munali constituency, I'm very proud that we produced the president who ruled this country in the name of Lupia Banda, and also that Munali hasn't been a one-lane constituency. We've had three of our mothers that became an MP for Munali. We had Madam Nawakwi, who became an MP for Munali in 2001, and we also had Madam Mumbipiri, who became an MP for Munali from 2006, and we have our mother who became an MP from 2011 for Munali, going up to 2021. So really, I'm a very proud son of Munali constituency that I'm standing in Munali and challenging the record that the people of Munali in 2021, they'll be voting for someone who has grown up in the constituency. So basically, my victory will be the victory for everyone in Munali. They'll be voting for themselves. Yeah.
Okay. Now, in terms of what ideas you're bringing to the table, I think maybe it's not your first time to declare intentions to stand for Munali constituency. Maybe what new ideas do people expect, from you as you pursue your dream of representing the people of Munali constituency?
The ideas are many, because when you are growing up from a home, the challenges. When you are growing up, everything that the challenges that we went through as the son of Munali. So basically, one, we need to look at how we can help our youths. Secondly, We need to look at how we can involve our mothers, our women, how we can develop our constituency. And thirdly, we have to look at the education sector in our constituency. We have to look at the health sector in our constituency. And in the health sector, we have a problem in the Kaunda Square where we have a clinic that closes at 17 hours. We need, and that is a combo. It's a combo in Gweti National Government. So we really need that clinic to be upgraded, or we can build another clinic. Since I'm coming from a business world, I would want to employ even other businesses within the constituency that they should be able to do something. You know, the corporate social responsibility, they need to do something to improve the environment in that constituency. Just like I was doing, even when I become an MP for Munali, we need to mobilize and take it up so that we can also do our part, not only waiting for government to come and improve our environment. I need to also take this opportunity to thank the president of the government of President Edgar Lungu, that they have taken keen interest to develop the infrastructure in terms of roads, and the Kamloops Road is coming up very well. Munali Road is coming up very well. Ali Kinkata Road is coming up very well. The contractor is on site. Since that's our home, and when I was coming here, I passed through there. I saw that. I was very impressed. So really, the president is doing a lot of work for us, and I know that Munali will never be the same after the completion of these works that are happening now. Yeah.
Now, in terms of participation of the residents in Munali, of course, for you to achieve what you are setting up to do, you need people to support you and buy into your vision of changing lives in Munali constituency. Maybe what would be your word of maybe appeal to the people of Munali constituency in terms of embracing new ideas that are coming for them to have to see a change in their lives?
Yeah. So you see, when you want to stand in front of people to become a leader, you must do something that people are able to recognize you for what you've done in your personal life. And I have no doubt that in my personal life, I have worked so hard and I've demonstrated enough to the people of Munali that indeed I can be in front of them and lead the development plan that we have in our constituency. And look, I have built Chris Moore out of my hard-earned money, and I have created the employment in Munali constituency, because the Chris Moore that you see, that you hear about, was built by the local people of Munali constituency. The Chris Moore the Chris Moore lodges that you hear about or have seen in Chamba Valley was built by the people of Munali, the local people of Munali constituency. And all these that I'm doing in the compounds, the helping out in the compound, in the communities, going to the churches and helping out in the construction of the respective churches within the constituency. It's just I'm a son of the constituency. It's just giving a helping hand. It has nothing to do with the political ambition. I have been doing this for a long time, even before I declared interest to stand. So I'll continue doing that. The people of Munali, they should be assured that this person we are putting into office will continue helping out the other people in the constituency like that. I need to help the youths, but I need a lot of responsibility from the youths as well, because we are going back to the family values and principles. The way we grew up at home, where parents would tell us not to do certain things. And this is what I want to also implore to our mothers, that let's try to remind our youths how we grew up at home, and they shouldn't lead a responsible life. Because obviously when we are talking about youths to be given even a job, you need a level of responsibility. We don't want a situation where you get paid today, and then the only time that you go back for work, nishindalama zikasira. We don't want a situation like that. We want a situation where even if you have money, you can do a lot with the money that you've gained out of the work you've done. But then tomorrow, keep working like that. And this is how we can improve our environment. Once you improve your own environment, you'll be able to improve an environment for your neighbor. And it will go on like that. You'll be able to improve the environment for everyone. Eventually, we're going to improve the environment of our Munali constituency better than we found it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about the issue of responsibilities among the young people, and we had a number of instances of youth gangs called the Fluffies, especially in Tendere and Kalingalinga area there. What do you think is needed, for these youth gangs to come to an end?
What we need, in fact, that is a growing concern for me, as an aspiring leader, as aspiring or as incoming member of parliament, as people would say, because that is a generation that will take over from us. Now, if we have an irresponsible generation that is drinking so much, that is only focused on getting something from whatever means from people that are working so hard, and attacking them, then you go back to drink, I think it's very worrisome. So what I'm actually doing is that I'm talking to these youths. I know that they might not listen there and then, but I'm talking to them. This is why I have sponsored some pool tournament where we are following them in the clubs where they drink from, and try to teach them, try to tell them that, look guys, nakulira mkomboni na mavuto, maybe mavuto yaliko manje yaliko bwino, but mavuto yatu isepete zokula yenzeko wesi, but we managed to come out and become what I am today. And in doing this, I've given the leaders to talk about it, because this is not only happening in our constituents, it's also happening in other areas. Just recently, about 150 youths, young people, were arrested in Solwezi, and 50 of them were charged. These are same young people, the gangs that are emerging, and in the Kitwe, Copperbelt, same thing like that is happening. To us who are aspiring to be in leadership, it's a very worrisome situation. We don't want to have a generation like that will come in and be irresponsible like that, because it's a breed. It's a breed which can erupt and become a civil strife. We don't want, this country has enjoyed peace for a long time. All we want to see is our generation to be working so hard. So we need a level. Of course, youths will cry out. Every youth that you find, you cry out that, look, I have an NRC, I have done this at school, I don't have a job. But we need to look at the circumstances that are there. How many colleges do we have? A lot. How many universities do we have? A lot. And how many graduations do we witness in a year? A lot. And the government, there's no successful government that will come and employ the entire generation. So the government will employ a certain number of people. The rest of the young people need to adopt a trade skill, and the trade skill is what I'm thinking to be an answer to unemployment. Because when you adopt a trade, you will be able to survive even on your own. And even the companies are looking for skilled labor. Skilled labor, you can even get employed. But again, finding a job is one thing. Keeping that job is another. So when you have a skill, you can work on your own. That's another thing. That's another option that a skill will give you. Working for another company is another skill. It's another way of surviving. So we really need to ask our young people. And when I talk about these trade skills, it's not like you have to go to a trade school and get a certificate from there. All you can do firstly is like our parents would tell us that ngatusebera na wanzeru na uzanka na nzeru, ngatusebera na chipuwa na uzanka la chipuwa. So it's the same thing how you can adopt that trade skill. You can see the people you can associate with, so that you learn how that job is done. When you start making a little bit of some money, then you can take yourself to a trade school. In a trade school there, you come out with a certificate, a trade certificate, where now you become competent and when you fuse in that society, people will be able to recognize you that uja ni electrician anachitoenda ku school, uja ni plumber anachitoenda ku school, uja ni carpenter anachitoenda ku school. And this is what we want to see from our young people. Some of us, we are here not because we had our parents. No, for me really, I was kept in different homes, and then I even dropped out of school. But through these piece works that I was doing, I was able to do a self-sponsoring. I sponsored myself back to school, and eventually I was able to get a diploma in law. So I know how to interpret the law on that level of a diploma, and it's through self-sponsorship. So we should not cry all the time to say, no, Kylie, my parents are unable to do this. What is it that you're doing on your own to help yourself? Let me take you back a bit on the CBU student whom I went to give him a pocket money of 2,500 kwacha. I was impressed because there are very few young people that would come out and reduce. So when I saw that coming out from the news, well, I said no. Let me go and encourage this young man, and I want to see more young people taking that step like that. He's a student. You are a student, but he's a student who has taken a step further by going to help himself. And when that happens, and when I see that, I'll always come in and try to help out where I can, and more people will come and help you. And this is how I'm expecting the young people to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of the education sector, the government had announced a reduction in school fees for public schools. Maybe how should parents now take advantage of this reduction to ensure that they send their children to school, maybe to avoid those issues like you said, the issue of the gangs in Mtendele compound, maybe just the reduction itself in the school fees. Now parents would take advantage of that to send their children to school. At least they're able to get some level of education.
It is a recommendable job by government. In fact, when we talk about government, we are talking about the president because he is the head of the government.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I would want to say it's a recommendable job by President Edgar Lungu to consider that, because a lot of our young people have dropped out of school because of the same school fees. And our parents should take advantage now to this, that school fees have been reduced. So you have an opportunity to send your kids to school up to grade 12 and even to colleges, because from what I monitored is that they've reduced fees even for the colleges. So they firstly reduced the fees for high schools. You can go up to grade 12 without paying much fees as we used to pay.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can go to college with the fees, the new fees that the minister has announced on behalf of government.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite a recommendable job that the president has, through the minister of general education has come in and cut school fees. This is really promoting education in our country. And we need a generation that will be educated for them to understand these issues. There are a lot of issues that need to understand. But if there's that element of you going to school, you'll be able to understand them better. When you watch on TV, you will be able to interpret what they are saying on TV, and explain to the rest of the family. And that is very recommendable. Let me also say that in my constituency, we have Munari Secondary School. It's one of the oldest schools in Lusaka, and it has produced so many prominent people in our country. And Munari looks after children with disability, special needs. There are the deaf there, there's the blind there, and it has been doing that for a long time. Some of these platforms where I've shared some views and ideas, I've noticed that, it has been reported to me that there is a problem. There's a lot of segregation and discrimination amongst the people with disability and the normal people, able people. So we really need to mix. So I'm calling upon government to recognize Munari Secondary School as a center of excellency, so that we have a lot of personnel being trained from there, and and taken to society, so that society should be able to accept how to live with people with disability. I remember some time back there was a deliberate policy by, I think, UNIP government where telephone operators could be blind, you know, and there are some specific jobs where we can put blind people. Speaking to blind people, they even told me that we are normal people. Society do not understand that one day we'll grow up and we would want to get married. And how do we live if at all we are not being told to do these other things? We are human beings. The only problem is maybe the disability that we have. But we think the same way like able-bodied people, and we do everything as we can with our own hands and everything else. And for me, really, that is touching. That is very touching to me. And being a member of Parliament from Nadi, I'll pay more attention to the people living with disability, so that we see how there's no segregation, there's no discrimination amongst them. Also, let me also say that we have also Chainama Mental Hospital. From the time we were growing up, I was young then, and the Chainama Mental Hospital has remained the same. I'm also calling upon, and even if after my time, we want to see that Chainama Mental Hospital receives a facelift and the services enhanced, so that the public, the society can know what the value that Chainama Mental Hospital has. It's now Chainama College Hospital, but I would want a lot of doctors to be coming like on platforms like this to explain what they offer from there. We have a lot of psychological problems in our country. We have lost people, and some of it is we ask ourselves why these policemen are shooting themselves, committing suicide. Not only policemen, but there are more other people maybe that we don't know about. So that has to do with psychological problems, and we also have people going through financial stress, people going through this economical stress, relationship stress, and people have maybe insomnia in the night. They are thinking too much. I think all these things, they can be, people can be cancelled and be cured from Chainama Mental Hospital. Really, Chainama College Hospital to me is on the side of my heart, because I really want to see that the services are improved, and it receives the facelift, so that we can save a lot of lives. We can save quite a lot of lives that we can save from that side.
Okay. In case you're just joining us, you're watching The Society, which comes to you every Wednesday right on Evolution TV from 18 to 19. And please don't call the line, the number on the screen is just for SMSs only. People are trying to call in, but are not accepting any phone calls. We just are receiving SMSs, and that number is 0978 43 74 37, 0978 43 74 37. So just for SMSs only, and if you want to talk to us, you can call later on after the program is done. Mr. Chinda, the issue of sanitation, sanitation in some parts of Nali constituency, and things to do with some pit-trim toilets, and I think there was a program to upgrade such toilets to some flushable ones. Maybe how do you intend to engage the community so that they accept new trends that happen in terms of having quality toilets, and also to enhance the issue of sanitation in the constituency?
Thank you, Kayombo. That is a very, very important sector. On waste management and just the entire sanitation like that. One, our residents need to be sensitized, and the authorities as well. They need to. We need to enhance our services in collecting this garbage in the compound. There's a UNZA. UNZA has been experiencing sanitation problem, and what I want to do is that I need to involve or the people that will be appointed to clean UNZA. Maybe they need to be given special instructions.
Okay.
Because we've been having a sanitation problem for a long time. Sewer lines blocking, sewer water coming out from anywhere, and really we need to pay attention to that one. In the compounds, in the communities where we're coming from, I've seen garbage accumulating there at Mahatma Gandhi grounds there. I've seen a lot coming out on that side. Really, our residents need to be sensitized. It doesn't help anyone. You wake up in the night, you go and throw garbage at your neighbor's house or just on the road. It doesn't help. It is our community, so we really need to take care of our community. And I don't know, I think Lusaka City Council, okay, my proposal is that I know maybe Lusaka City Council through the Minister of Local Government, they're doing something where a separate company, a separate entity has to be created specifically for waste management. I would want to see it like that. I'll give an example of, I think water storage was part of, water department was part of the council when it started, and it was separated. Right now, it's doing very fine. I think garbage is another area that we need to pay attention. Garbage, every person produces garbage. Even the child who was born today produces garbage. So really we need to have a dedicated company that will be looking into this, just like ZESCO, where you have to make sure that the laws that are going in line with the collection of garbage and waste management is followed. The system the new system which is coming up now through Mtendere and Mtendere East there and everywhere else, I think it's a very welcome move. If we do away with the pit latrine, I think then we can reduce some of these diseases that comes with waterborne, that comes with the sewer influence. I'm only hoping the project will come to an end soon and people will start accessing the facilities of having their toilets flushable. I know it will take a little bit of some time for everyone to build toilets in the compound, but once we start the process, I think everyone will be enticed to build a toilet and put a toilet and connect to a sewer system. But our residents should not forget that when you are using a service, there should be obviously there will be a fee that will be paid to the authorities for maintenance and everything else. So really, our residents, our people in the Munali constituency, they should be able to know that there will be small fees that will be paid to that. And what is there, what the Millennium Challenge, what the government is doing through Millennium Challenge is recommendable. It's very recommendable because our households will be improved. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to a day where they will announce that, okay, we have installed these and their lines are now working and everything. We have never seen shower water like you open a shower and then you bath from a shower. So bathing from a shower when you're living in a compound, it passes Zoom. So really, I want to see a day when our people in the compound will be connected to shower water where we don't have water problems. I'm looking at a day when that happens. If it goes up to 2021, obviously, I'll need to find out. I'll need to push so that the project comes to fruition. Yeah.
Okay. Now, on the issue of markets also, maybe what's your general picture, overview of the state of the markets in Nadi and also what we intend to do about it?
Our market, like in Kalingalinga, we have, in fact, me from Kalingalinga, we need to do a road. Very few people knows that there's even a market off Kamloops Road, my traffic lights going to the left there. Very few people knows that because there's no tarmac going to that market like that. So I really need a tarmac to be done going to that market there, and then if we can mobilize or we can lobby wherever we can lobby, if it is government or if it is using CDF, we have to do a mother shelter there. We have to create a very good enabling environment for our marketeers there. Our women in Mtendere, Kazimai Market, Women there Morod Chemuja pafupi na pacha petwa paja. Really we want to I like the zeal. Women really want to do business. They are always wanting to sell something. So we need to see how we can work it out. The time there was Keep Zambia Clean campaign, I saw some shops that were coming up along the road. That was supposed to be recommendable, but because that campaign is no longer there, I've seen those shops, unfinished shops like that, they've been abandoned, and our people are back there on the streets. But really, what I would want to see, I'll be very happy to see a day where our marketeers, they are properly in a designated areas where they can do business properly without any disturbance, where they can, when they are knocking off the low cap, and then when they are coming in the morning again, not a system where when they are knocking off they have to kuamba longa masaka, then you send food mambako later pogulisira food. I really want to improve that. Yeah, but we can do that together with them. But really the garbage collection, we need a concerted effort with everyone. All the women should be able to know. Muntu akataya kantu. Themselves, they should be able to tell that person, hey, kadobe yako. I want to see a situation where we get to that level. Akataya kantu muntu paka bamdobesa, so that our environment is just clean as it is. Yeah.
In terms of the health facilities, like you talked about Chainama hospital, maybe apart from that hospital you talked about, your intention, how do you intend to also maybe increase the number of clinics, or also to upgrade the existing ones in Munali constituency?
I went to Mtendere clinic. I saw that, I appreciated how they are keeping the clinic. It's very clean, but I saw that there was the limitation in terms of space.
Okay.
I would want to see first level hospital in our in Mtendere ward. So Mtendere ward is Mtendere and Karikiliki. We have a lot of our voters there. It's about